Hello, hello everyone. It's time for another morning art stream. We're working, if I can get my tablet situated. We are working more on this color comic, which is exciting. I'm through about half of the colors for it. Hello, hi from the Comic Online. What are you in line for specifically? Are you in line for Hall H? If so, you're probably going to be in that line for a while. I remember being in line for Hall H. Also, that's 70% incorrect. Oh, just to get in? Also, that's also wrong. Let's, which one is this? Where's the character base that I'm using? Where is it? Okay, it's here. 30 minutes till it opens. What are you going to do first when you get in? Also, thank you for the watch streak. Oh my goodness. That is a crazy watch streak. 45 streams. Even joining from the line. Thank you. But yeah, what are you gonna do once you're in? Find shops, explore. That could be a whole day. Just how dang big the dealer's hall is. Ugh, I miss Comic-Con. But probably was a little easier to do when I was a little younger. Like, I look back on some of my earlier Comic-Con days, and, you know, to save money, we would put, like, 8 people into basically a one-bed hotel room, and, because, it was cheaper, and split it that way, and I was, like, sleeping under a desk or something. Because that was somebody else had, like, their cosplay stuff in there, too. It was really crowded. And, I don't think I could do that again. I'm old! I'm like, I have to spend money and have, like, a bed to sleep in. I can't sleep under a desk anymore. I can't do it. Plus, man, the Hall H stuff is so long. You pretty much have to devote an entire day just to be in line for that. Yep, sometimes you gotta draw the idea that's fresh in your brain. Yep, there's the gradient in Susie's wings. We decided to add it. It was indeed there. Alright, I'm gonna do a little bit of that down here. But yes, color is coming along. We're getting there. Yeah, I did like the dancer Susie. It was very cute. It was cute stuff. Oh my goodness, exciting! I want to see more Dragon Susies. More Dragon Susies in general. Please. I want to see them. I'm glad you had fun drawing her. I can see that you are improving. It's looking good. Aren't all Susies Dragon Susies? Well, technically, yes. That sounds like a doozy. Good grief. Now there's so many words to say. You're dying sketching her? No, don't do that. So that would be a lot of posters. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. We're coloring today. Color, color, color. And when this is done, we're going to have, like, other shades on top. But we're just doing the base colors now. Dark World on a big convention. I feel like that might be a little bit overwhelming. Oof. Because they already take, a small space and make it a lot larger. So, I don't know how you would deal with that. Also, I'm going to move some of the hair here. Kind of like trying to draw this in terms of, like, layers. As long as we don't get on the wrong layer song. Yippee, colors, yay! I hardly ever do colors. Hopefully they look good by the time they're all put together and done. Because color is still not my strong suit, but I try. Oh my god, do I try. Yeah, I wonder what we'll get in future chapters for where Dark World gonna show up. I don't even know. We'll find out. Yeah, everybody's got their one part of the process they love the most. For me, it's inking. I really like just it's very relaxing just to kind of go over my lines and make them nice. Whereas shading and coloring are a bit more fraught for me, but still, we must do them. Yeah, the flowers might have a little bit of a skewed perception, since they got they were supposed to be wedding flowers, then there was divorce and bad things happened. We are the latchkey kids. No, why would she do that? Yeah, that's why I usually draw in black and white too. Plus, it's for my job. I draw in black and white. So having to move to color is a little bit tricky. Sketching is fun. I guess just the inking part, I kind of get to turn off my brain a bit. I will be adding lines onto the on the top of this when I'm done, because I still can't quite get away from full lines. Hey, appropriate song right now. Yeah, I really admire people who can do like really nice lineless, blended art, stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, it looks so nice. They understand the form so well. That's what I need to practice. I need to practice more just like grayscale shading, just kind of like understanding how light works on subjects and stuff like that. I'm gonna do me some more of that. Understand volume. Volume important. Yeah, that is a huge problem. I don't like how films are all desaturated either. You know why they do that? It's because so much stuff is done via VFX now. So you have to invent all the lighting from scratch, and that's hard. So in order to mask that, they just make the lighting bad. So it's harder to tell that it's not real. Whereas if you shoot in natural light, it's harder to do all the effects you want, but your lighting is going to be more correct because you have you can use natural light, more control over it. Lighting is extremely important. Think of like that one Tumblr post or Twitter or whatever that's like, men of Los Angeles, stop becoming, businessmen and start becoming gaffers. I can't see shit in these movies. I can't do it. Yeah, I did see the new He-Man has great colors, which is lovely. If you're gonna do He-Man, you better give it some nice colors, because, it is an 80s cartoon, in which we dripped on the colors. Like, one of the tricky parts of drawing Deltarune characters is, the fact that the colors are nice and bright, which is great for a video game, but when you're trying to, draw and pull straight from the sprites, it's a little bit too saturated. You've got to kind of dial it back a sec. Normally it's the opposite. Yes, I did see Backrooms this last week, or not this last weekend. This weekend I had to do gardening stuff. But the previous weekend I saw Backrooms and I liked it. It was fun. It was also scary, but not a horrible kind of scary. It was a good kind of scary, as Noelle would say. Actually, chapter 1 is pretty colorful. Stay in character. People have been memeing on that scene a lot. Right, I'm going to go down and actually do this one with her again before we move on to the next one. I am a fucking darker. No. People don't know who to put in, like, Clark and Mary's role, so they just kind of put whoever. It's kind of funny. Well, to the soul christened. Oh no. Oh dear. I suppose that is true. But you have to have a character that's like, I want to stay in the, you know, the magical world. I don't want to deal with the real world. I'll deal with the horrors instead. That's preferable. Soul is the instigator. That's getting a little complicated. Then who's Captain Clark? Who's the captain? Yeah, Noelle is not an abuser. I'm sure there's somebody who's reading it like that, but they are incorrect. They are not right on that. That... I know my imagination ran wild back in the day. I was super excited after chapter 1. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I'm like, I have to make a paper trail about this. And the best part, you can eat them. That was weird. The scalping, that was the one part where I was like, oh, ooh, I'm glad we're hiding most of that. Ooh. Don't eat darkeners. Unless they have a butter sword, then that's allowed. Yep, and then Paper Trail was born, true. Darkner, humans, and monsters. Yeah, the darkness, I guess, in general, they don't differentiate between them very much. They just all kind of, they're all kind of people-ish. That can encompass a lot of things. Alright, good luck with Comic-Con. I'm glad I got you into Deltarune. That makes me happy. Finally, the line will move. I mean, yeah, they're pretty much stuck in the, they're stuck in the shop all day. They can't move much. Although, apparently, yeah, I'm still wild about that line that we missed. That was like the flowers would see people come into the shop and be happy. And it's like, well, what if we got to be humans and monsters? Wouldn't that be neat? And it's like, oh. Never mind, the line is not moving, I guess. Sorry. That is the nature of a Comic-Con line. Will it move? Maybe, but probably not. Yeah, like, were people in the shop coming to the back room for something? Like, that's Asgore's living quarters. They must have... Maybe he would, like, bring them out sometimes to, like, the front of the shop. Just to, you know, show them off or something. I don't know. Because normally they're in the back. People just get used to be like, okay, I guess Asgore lives here. We'll ignore his sad bed and his sad TV and his sad fridge. Yeah, I can try and get it in the stream with friends, which we still gotta arrange a time to do. Sometime in August. Yes, Asgore lives in the Backrooms, true. Asgore is Clark now. I want you to tell me it wasn't my fault. Although he has the opposite problem. He's like, it was my fault. It was all my fault, and I'm gonna prove that I'm not a bad person. And yeah, he's got opposite of Clark's problem, actually. Clark's problem was he was not willing to take responsibility, and Asgore's problem is, well, I'll have to take all the responsibility and ignore my real life responsibilities for this quest thing I'm on. People really seem to, like, overestimate how much characters will crash out about stuff. Which is interesting. Susie with the, you know, the UI. Oh yeah, Flowery told me about that. I want to learn how to do voice clips. I've been painting on the wrong layer this whole time. I have. I have. I've been on ice. Don't worry. I have a solution. I have a solution. It's this. Paste in place. We did it. Yeah, I think that was kind of the point of Clark's character, is that, like, he sucks and is pathetic, but also you feel bad for him because he is in a crappy situation and he's not letting himself get out of it. Whereas Mary was also in a crappy situation and she at least also attempted to get out of it, even though it kind of snuck up with her. Noelle crash out. At least her crash out would be very deserved. Think if something truly bad does happen to Rudy, or Susie, or both, that's cause to crash out. Yeah, at least Clark was willing to let Mary go until Captain Clark showed up and wanted dinner. Okay, good luck with the line. Yeah, maybe an aborted weird root, I don't know. Anything's possible. I kind of feel like Weird Root Noelle already had her crash out. It seems like that is, in fact, what happened. Since she's like, I'm going to effectively commit suicide and take you with me. Even if it's not actually what happened, it is, in a way, what happened. You know what I mean. Which will be addressed kind of here. Whenever I draw Noelle, I have to remind myself that she has like a really long face. In a weird, weird way. Her face is so long. Not aching junior? I'm not sure what that means. Hello, thank you for coming. Good morning, good evening. Good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. If you are somewhere where it's too hot, I will give you rain, because it's actually nice and rainy here. Why the long face, Ellie? True, constantly. It works in the sprite, but it's really hard to translate into drawings. I keep wanting to shorten her face. But she needs her long face. It needs to hold all of her gay thoughts. Okay, we're gonna do this first. Flippity floopities. I wonder if I should stick a filter on top of them or just go straight from. Maybe I can stick a little filter on top of these guys. No, I need like a green filter. Green! Greens! Well, a yellowish green or a bluish green? I think I'll stick with that. Overlay? Oh, let's put it on the wrong Noelle. Fine. Ugh. Get over here. I need the Light World ones. Goes full anime girl, true. Maybe it's a multiply I need. Okay, we'll do that. Why did Toby make Noelle face very long? Good question. I think part of the thing is also like her eyes and her nose are really close together, but her lower jaw, her jaw is really, really long. Like, look, nose, eyes right here, and then like long face. Long face. The long face. Why the long face? I'll put some more shading over this later as well, but. You're long. True. Jackenstein telling it how it is. Speaking of Jackenstein. She doesn't even have the longest face. So probably Carol has the longest face. The longest face of them all. Belong to Carol. You're long. Oh. I think in the face sprites, all of their necks are a little bit long, so they're not quite doing the shoulders. They are. Sustingus. I'm falling. What a predictable creature. All according to plant. Biomics, no. I do not. This will be fun to go into later. Hair everywhere. Yeah, they've all got long faces, so Des is gonna have a long face too. You're eating my flesh. Said with a smiley face. Here I come, San Francisco. I could never turn off your voice clips, Flowery. They were so funny. They were so silly. Flowery, thank you for the stems. Of course I give you stems. I am a flower. Now go, live your dreams. Here comes San Francisco. Yes, I did turn off Ralsei's. That was in my first playthrough. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm a little curious what will happen. I don't know, but I'll try to turn off Ralsei's. So I did, and he's like, and I was like, okay, I'll turn them back on. And then I went to the menu, and I'm like, no! What do you mean? I can't turn them back on. No, help! I ruined it. Because the game kept like prompting me, and I was like, "Oh, do I need to turn them off or something?" But I'm curious what'll happen. I felt so bad. I'm like, sorry, Ralsei. He's so upset. Father even says, "Stop being mean to Rally." I'm like, you told me to. Well, I guess you didn't tell me to. That was my own dang fault. So. That was my own dang fault. Oh yeah, I need to get the bromides. She gonna break stuff. It's gonna be fun and neat. It's gonna be fun and neat when she breaks stuff. And Noelle's like, I will also break stuff. And Ross is like, fuck it, I might as well break stuff. We're gonna break stuff all over the heckin' place. I need to collect all the bromides too. Is it really that dark gray? Apparently not. It'll hopefully not look so weird once I add all the outlines on top of it. The bromides are basically like, they're these little still like paintings, images that you can get. And it's usually a flowery doing something, like an anime picture of flowery doing something, and they're very funny. That's so sad. Well, I guess it would have to be a boarded weird root because you can't, obviously go into the dark world in regular weird root. So it'd have to be like you boarded it at some point. Burbly. Yeah, I gotta get through that platforming challenge at some point. Platforming challenge! The stuff I'm really not good at. Lunar reference? Okay. I'm sure they were a reference to something and I just didn't know what. That's usually how it goes. Interesting. Oh, we got a thing. What? I'm getting a captcha. Oh, okay, this is bright stuff. I might need to come back to it in just a sec because... Should I take my stretch break now? Added by Working Designs? Okay. Let's see. Since this is probably going to be a short one, I'll do that real quick. I might not do a full body one. We'll just do from the waist up. Okay. Green a flower crown. But now it's going to look like Susie's disapproving of Sunny's flower crown, which not true. Seeing a visual novel. I need to play more visual novels, I think is the answer here. I haven't done that many. Might only be Love Buster was kind of my first visual novel. So I'm gonna need to do more at some point. Experience the genre. I don't think we're gonna have like multiple endings though. I don't think that Toby is lying about there only being one ending. I mean, on the chapter 5 thing, the last song listed is, Concert for You, which, also not the last song on it, but sometimes the last song that's appropriate. Pure Weird Root could be an alternate ending? Possibly. And even then, I think it might be less, like, proper ending and more kind of just, we're stopping here sort of thing. A little tappy tap. It's like she's nervous about asking herself out. Which, I don't know. It's not cauldron fresh. Alright, hopefully that encompasses the two things you wanted. Thank you. You're slowly filling up. Ah, number 4. Alright, and then we'll get back into this, but first I need to do a stretch break. Ending same way that Gina was? Yeah, probably in that sense. Limiting snicket interaction? There are so many, like, hidden sprites. All within. Apparently there was, like, a styling sprite for the Scissor Dancer encounter where Susie gets dreads. And I didn't know this? That's wild. Why was that cut? Well, he has to use fire magic, and that's a little bit unsafe when you're a plushie. Because otherwise, how's he gonna light the cauldron? That's what he's using the fire magic for. Oh, I see you make jeans in there. Denim poisoning. I promise my cauldron cooking is safe. We need more Queen. That's the true regret of Chapter 5. We're not going to be able to have Queen interact with any of the flowers. Sadness. Queen interacting with Seth like, oh, you remind me of someone that I don't really want to put my finger on it, though. Let's think about something else. Yeah, the Shiri fight. That's what it was. I saw a sprite for it, but I don't know if it actually shows up in game. Black-coated Susie, my beloved as well. Oreo cheesecake, hooray! That's delicious. Oh, there's always next request. Yeah, isn't there an unused sprite from doing the flash kick? I don't remember exactly how it goes, but something like that. Yeah, this is a flashback to drowning, plus some other stuff. I just have the canvas flipped upside down because I love me doing like hourglass parallels in drawing. They're fun, they're neat, but I'm doing stretch break, and we'll get back into it. I do get that, but I don't think Alvin's half human in either game. I feel like if that were the case, it would kind of come up more, especially since it seems like Miss Boom is there and she is a turtle. So seems like Garrison had monster kids in Deltarune. I'm sure Flower would pretty much do whatever he thought looked cool and flashy. So if he could do Chun-Li's spinning bird kick, then yes, he would. Yeah, I kind of suspect that Alvin doesn't exist in Undertale. Maybe in Undertale, Garrison never really got over the human magician he was in love with, and didn't marry anybody, didn't have kids. That's why we don't see Alvin. Whereas in Deltarune, if he did have any relationship with a human, he got together with a monster by the time he's in hometown. Very well could have been. He could handle it. Alright, be right back for one more stretch. Okay. Alrighty, I'm back. For more. More crazy arch. Yeah, it was such a wow moment when Garrison casually drops, "Oh yeah, by the way, like humans and monsters were married and that included me." And it included like, oh wait, I'm in the wrong one. Susan call that's what I need. I was like, where's my thing? There it is. By the way, I was married. Wait, what? It's actually a metaphor for Toby himself. I haven't. If it's some kind of like, you know, I mean, because obviously the whole point of that is like it's a trans narrative, and if that's the case, I don't really want to like make any assumptions about that with Toby, unless he actually says something like that's kind of rude. Also, thank you for following. Oh, okay. As in terms of like the wrist thing. Okay. And like I don't know, maybe Garrison would have had a kid with a human, but I don't think they're in hometown if that's the case. I think it is too important that Chris grew up as the only human in hometown, which is why I don't get in with you know, human deaths or anything like that. There goes Lancers. But it could have happened where it was like also no, I think I can do it that way. I'm trying to figure out what is on top of what in terms of colorings. Yay, finishing the sketch. Like, there's all these questions about, I don't know, how will Chris react to this information? Mm-hmm. Actually, maybe I should do the white first. I'm figuring out what to put on top of what. Ugh. We didn't get much Lancer in this chapter. It was mostly just in Castletown. If we did have a clearer version of Noelle's hands. It's like, those should be hooves. Also, Chris, why do your shoes and pants basically become like one entity? That ain't normal. I have to separate them out some way. Did I do the right one? No, I did not. Of course I didn't. Of course I did. Yeah. Fox and the Hound. That's a one that'll make you cry. One of Disney's quieter movies. Alright, is that good with the color? I think so. We'll do the shading all on top of that later. Whee! No, wrong. Wrong. Stop. I want to rotate. Stop. No. Stop. I want to rotate. Like this. Thank you. Rotation. Situation. I'm going to have to go back into Chris later and do a bunch of effects, I think. Oh, wrong. Close that. I guess we'll do Chris first. What is this? Get out of here. Get out of here. Tease, get out of here. Surprising rhymes from Lynx. Aqua and Lancer together would be too powerful. People would not be able to deal with it. This is a very blue. Chris is so blue, like even like I don't know, maybe it's a comparison with like straight black, but they have a very sharp blue color, which is interesting. Okay. They're blueberry flavored. That's what Rouse says anyway. Rouse says they're blueberry. Susie says they're apple. Does Chris need to switch to like a different fruit? Does blueberry shampoo exist? Probably not. Every non-binary person is blueberry. Wait, when was that decided? Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to do the effects right there later. That'll be for later. Blue raspberry. Oh, yeah, usually. Actually, I'm gonna do the hair back here. My fellow bluebird. Okay, yeah, we'll do the weird effects going on with them later. So I know I'm gonna have to do a bunch of effects in various places. I do like blue raspberry, even though I don't think it tastes like either blue or raspberry. It just tastes delicious. You start pulling from the sprites directly, and it's like, oh yeah, all this stuff is like, a lot of this basically like 4 colors in here. And yeah, what we can do with that. Blue raspberry tastes more like bright reddish. Church flavor. Alright, now we can switch back to the other ones. Like here. What's your favorite candy flavor? I guess it depends on the candy too. I want to correct. Yeah, I want the correct one. For some reason this looked weird. I don't know why. Blue raspberry flavored sparkling ice. I do like me some blue raspberry though. True, true. I always like those like fake tropical flavors that are like, you know, mango, passion fruit, whatever. They all just kind of blend together. Those are good. Peppermint is good. I do like me, mint chocolate chip ice cream is good. Ah, Lifesavers. Lifesavers. Oh, I'm the opposite. I don't really like chewing gum. Like, my parents would always kind of offer it to us in church, because I'm assuming that, you know, kids chewing gum means that they're not going to be talking or making noise, but I don't like chewing gum. I'm like, what do you mean I can't swallow this? I just have to have it in my mouth? Bleh, bleh, bleh. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. We are in the middle of coloring this part. And it's coming along. You think Deltarune Azrael likes cat food? I don't know. Where is it suggested that they do? Unless this is in relation to Chris being puppy coated. Oh, feeds Flowey cat food. I don't think that necessarily relates to Deltarune Azrael. I can see Des making him try it as a dare or something. We do now have Desreal confirmed. Which Chris not terribly fond of. Or at least not fond of being reminded of it. Our puppy! Is that why he tried to date Caddy briefly? Or kiss him or kiss her or something? Cherry candies. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of cherry candy because it kind of tastes more like cherry cough syrup, which not great. But I will say the one exception to that is cherry Lifesavers, which actually do like taste good and like cherry. I'm not even like a fan of cherry, but like cherry is not my favorite flavor in general. But like cherry Lifesavers are the exception of like, yeah, cherry Lifesavers are good. Yeah, I'm not a big cherry fan. I might put a little bit more shading down here. Pretty much, yeah. Cherry Lifesavers gold standard for that. Cherry Lifesavers are like actually good. It is so hard to draw characters with their heads tilted up. Ugh. I did it on the eyes again. Layer. No, oh, no, we gotta paste in place. Paste in place. Thank you. Paste in place. No, cherry sour is me. Me. Yeah, it's really hard to make like a medicine stuff taste good. That's the problem with medicines. They kind of automatically taste bad. Yes, I was wrong layered again, but we fixed it by moving it to the correct layer and paste in place. We fixed it, it's fine. So I've been trying to put the eyes on separate layers so they're not hit up with the shading layer. I might move them around though if needed. But keeping them separate is helpful. Have a good lunch. I will have lunch later. Also, I'm glad it's raining outside, even though I hope it doesn't wash all the pesticide I needed off those plants, but I need to get rid of those caterpillars. I need to get rid of them. They chewed up all my plants. I'm sorry, caterpillars. I know you're cute, but you can't be doing that. You can't be eating my plants. You are small little bugs. How do you eat way more than a lizard does? I mean, they have like a little gourmet like antler meal. Aren't antlers like, they're not bone, but they're like, I don't know, some kind of weird cartilage thing? I guess most animals, if they lose a part of themselves, they're like, well, that's free protein. I can't lose that. Nom nom nom. Ugh. It is deeply unfair that medicine is like inherently bitter. Apparently it's like impossible to make medicine like taste good on like a chemical molecular level. The caterpillars are mini ER Susies. They're eating everything. How do you eat so much, caterpillars? Ow. All my leaves chewed up. Should have moved a little faster on that, I guess, but I am new to it. That. Yeah, I'm not sure why they picked cherry for med flavors. I feel like in terms of if you're gonna pick a flavor to like make meds, then honey seems to work well if you're not using something that's like minty. Like, you know, the honey cough drops, those usually don't taste too bad. Maybe it's because like as a kid, like they would always give you like the cherry medicine because that was made for kids. And it still didn't taste good. Like it tasted like cherry, but it wasn't good. So you just kind of associate cherry with the, like this bad medical taste. It's easy flavor to synthesize when medicine flavors. Interesting. I wonder why that is. Like, it makes sense, but I wonder why specifically cherry was easy to synthesize. What is it about cherries? Also, at least to my understanding, cherries are like kind of one of the most fraught crops to harvest because you have like a pretty short window in which you can harvest cherries, so you have to have like a ton of people all doing it at once, and it's a kind of a nightmare. Because my brother briefly worked on like a cherry picking situation. He's like, it was not great. I guess, how do you synthesize flavors in the first place? How do you figure out, okay, this chemical causes this flavor? I could see them making it into a broth. That would work. That'd be doable. Antler soup. Red Nile. Interesting. Or Nile red. Not red. Okay. Okay, remember, eyes are on a different layer. Don't keep drawing on that one. Flavor synthesis. Turns plastic gloves into grape soda. That's a little upsetting. I don't know if I want that. I'm gonna do something with her eyes later. Styrofoam cups into cinnamon candy. So basically like flavor alchemy. I will use my chemistry powers for good and or evil? Question mark? Miracle berry. What is miracle berry? Right. Oh, missed a bit of Susie's tail there. Let's fill that in. Probably a couple other places I missed too. Miracle Berry sounds like Willy Wonka stuff. Snozzberry? Who ever heard of a snozzberry? Anything can be a berry if you believe. Nice. We're everywhere. The secret Canadians. We're everywhere. Still would boop that snoot? True. I love the bit in chapter 5 where you can like boop her snoot when she jumps into the water and she's like, nah. Every Susie snoot is boopable. True. Even Dragon Susie snoot. That's the most boopable of all. Why would a berry do that? That's weird. That sounds like science fiction-ness. Science berry. It is a snozzberry. Some more appropriate music. Where would you even grow a miracle berry? I've temporarily rearranged your taste buds. It's a switcheroo! I do have fond memories of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but mostly the 60s version. I don't care for you, Johnny Depp, or whatever the hell you're doing now. Why are they making a movie that's like before Scrooge, he was Ebenezer? And it's like, so before last name, he was first name? Also, like, we know what his backstory is. That's a big chunk of the plot of A Christmas Carol. Like, what if we just did the Ghost of Christmas Past part without all the other cool stuff? Before Lynx Griffin, there was Lynx. Exactly. Thank you. I want to have more Dragon Susie looking cool and badass. As she well deserves. Our hair's going behind that wing there. I'll have to go back in there later. Well, it is kind of difficult to do, like, this part of the wing. Or there was Lynx Griffin, there was a Lynx and a Griffin, and they fell in love. Yes, you discovered my secret parentage? Something like that. That's probably how it works. You don't need to use my real name. Yeah, I liked Wonka, okay. Maybe it's because I actually saw it with my family and it's like, okay, we're having a nice outing. It works fine as long as you, like, don't actually connect it to, you know, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and any of the other stuff. And it's kind of like, okay, this is its own made-up thing with the same character. Willie has officially wonked. That sounds kind of wrong. I don't know. Did, like, the actual Wonka candy stuff do even more, like, things when those movies come out? So I know that's, like, as a candy company, it's been around for forever. But I don't know what happened to them. I think they make nerds and stuff like that. Which I do like. Yeah, like, it was nothing amazing. It was fine. It was just fine. But again, I wouldn't really, like, put it in the same canon as, like, the usual Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movies. This is a Wonka that is Far too nice. He's supposed to be a bit of a weird gremlin. Oh, that sucks. Big, giant, weird chocolate bars. I think her wing goes back here, too. So I realized I'd been having Susie have 5 toes in the reference, but here she has 4, so, hope nobody notices now that I've pointed it out. Ugh. I'm sorry, it makes more sense for, like, a furry to have 4 toes than 5, even though she probably would have 5 toes. I don't know. Agile saved me from my own mistakes. I'll do a reference. That way I won't get the character wrong when I draw them a bunch of times. Proceeds to ignore the reference. Good job, me. I think I at least remembered for her hand she has 5 fingers. No, I knew this for a while. I was just kind of like, oh. I was reminded, wait, I did her reference. Did it wrong from the reference. I ain't going back to change that now, sorry. You'll just have to live with her reference and actual comic being slightly different. Cadbury chocolate's pretty good. I wouldn't say no to that. Nom, nom. Nobody will notice it. I don't know about that. I'm sure somebody will notice it. Well, it depends on whenever I post the reference, because I don't know when, if I will. Probably if somebody asks, hey, do you have a reference, then I'll post it. The reference is mostly just for me. And it still didn't work. Wah, wah, wah. Thanks, Yahtzee. The church is doing a weird name. Nobody will notice it. Snowden Librarian on the sign, true. Yes, we know the sign is misspelled. The worst thing about the sign being misspelled is now I call the library the Library in real life. And that's not what it is. Why? You ruined it. Toby. It's just fun to say library. I say trying to justify why I do it. Library. I know, that's the actual word. I'm sorry. It's fun to say library. It's fun to say it wrong. Nobody notices until it's pointed out to you. Dun dun dun. Actually, maybe that's her hair, not her shoulder. The problem with her jacket being so black is that I can't see what else I'm painting, so I have to, like, lighten stuff up. There's all kinds of stuff you'll notice if you stop and read, which even I'm not great at all the time. He's turning 10 soon. Congratulations. What if Orange sounded exactly like Mickey Mouse? But Orange is a girl. Would it have to be Minnie Mouse? I don't know about that. Lie Barbie. Exactly. Library. Quiet, this is a library. Remember that classic? Waste them tokens. Both the Disney and the Mario one at the same time. That's impressive. Smoke 50 at the same time. Actually, I'm pretty sure her jacket would extend further this way. Imagine orange with like, I don't know, maybe a little whiny, but also like kind of like pipsqueaky, like, oh, wise guy, eh? I'm gonna rough you up, you chibies. Orange is my favorite, even though I recognize the fact that she is a brat. She is being obnoxious to Ralsei, but I love her. I guess it depends on what scam they're trying to do. Alright, shoot, should I take my break now? I usually take my break now, but I'm almost done with Susie here. Let's, we'll just finish her up real quick. Starting with mouth stuff and moving out. Moving on out. Aqua is perfect and can do no wrong, except to my health when I battle her, because then she will kill me dead. It's okay, though, she's allowed to be a murder child. World's cutest little murder child. I feel like that would take a while. And do a little shading up here. Alright, once we finish Susie here, then we will, take ourselves a break. That's a bad time for that, yeah. I barely even pick up the phone anymore unless I know, like, exactly who's calling me. If I don't recognize the number, I'm like, goodbye. I'm not talking to you. Really is sad that, like, it made using the phone so obnoxiously difficult that people just won't do it. That's really funny, actually. Way out of things says to little Bobby tables it. Okay. Alright, this is on a lower thing. Sweet, we got colors done for this page! Yay! Yay! Alright, but now it's time for a stretch break. I already poked a little bit into the next page. So that'll be fun to work on this one, because this is like a fun page. With cool stuff, and I gotta add more shading onto it. The entirety of Ulysses. Yay, colors! Colors, colors! Thank you! Was hoping to have a cool panel. With cool, like, parallels and stuff. But I'm sure will hopefully make more sense once the text is in there. Well, the text is in there, but it's turned off so you can't read it. You can't read the text until I say so. I say when we read the text. Actually, I might move some of those bubbles around so that they're not quite so close to that. Oh, really? Oh, well, in that case, I might give you a... If you ask, I'll give I know, a text-free version. So you don't have the text bubbles there. Yeah, I still gotta do like a bunch of shading and stuff to it. Overlay layers! We love us some overlay layers! Well, actually, I can't use too many overlay layers on this one because, like, the background area they're supposed to be in is all grayscale, so overlay will not work so well with that. Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping to finish it this week. We'll see. I need to get this out and out there so that I can get back to Deltarune stuff. Because it's been a while. But I gotta do this one. Sometimes you just gotta stop and get inspired by something else. New chapters. I knew a new chapter would do that to me. I just didn't know in what form, in what way it would do it to me. I know I had started a Suzelle art that I didn't finish. Sob. Only I had infinite time, and also my wrist was working. I always gotta get up and stretch. Slow's not a bad thing to be. In fact, it is a perfectly fine thing to be. Especially since if you go too fast, you end up like me or Toby and our wrists are in trouble. You gotta spend the rest of your time taking care of them, just so you can keep using them. I did have physio this last weekend, so that helped a bit. But then it's always pretty sore afterwards. Alright, I will be right back for one more stretch and orange juice and stuff. Alrighty, I am back with my juice. That juice tastes weird, huh? Yeah, channel points is how you do the sketch request. Yeah, it's a hazard that can happen. I wish I was ambidextrous. Honestly, that would be nice. But it is what it is. I've gotta take care of it. The best I can. It is fresh from the juice. I think I just got a little weird because I was using a different kind of juice, and then I went back to the old kind of juice, and like they're different. They're both orange juice, but they're different. You know what I mean? Orange juice is one of those things that it's like extremely easy to have different tasting juice. It's all fresh from the juice, but the juice is all different in ways that I cannot quite describe. Too much there. End up in Spade King's jail, true. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of iced tea. I do love iced tea though, so I understand. It is tasty. It's like, you all got a criminal here? No, no criminals, but we do have a dad. Oh, that's the worst kind of criminal. Oh, sheesh. It really does suck. It sucks. You gotta be careful. Heck yeah, energy juice. I need to do more like regular arm exercises too. I just wish that doing exercises did not exasperate. Why can I never pronounce that word? Exasperate. I keep wanting to say What the heck was that? Why are you honking? It's Sunday. Nobody should be working. Stop that. Stop your honks. No, I never have energy drinks either. Mostly because too much caffeine does not good for me. I feel bad if I drink like a coffee that's too much caffeine. I'm like, oh, I'll have myself a delicious mocha. It'll be fine. And then three hours later, I'm like, regret. I should not have had that. Blah. Which probably got that from my dad because he's also sensitive to caffeine. Doing crazy stuff with Noelle. Oh wait, some hair back here. It's tough remembering, like, okay, what is layered on top of what? Yeah, I cannot have energy drinks. That is too much caffeine. I would feel yucky. You have to redeem the points. There should be an option if you click on the points themselves for you to like redeem them. Alright, I'm going back to here because this is where I had, come here. Where I had her mouth inside colors. You know, the colors look a little weird without the lines on them, but they'll look better later, hopefully. Yeah, it was definitely fun to do Weirdroot Noelle's expressions here, just kind of all like a little bit bitter and twisted. I like pushing expressions, it's a lot of fun. And I swear this is all just like quiet revenge for like, not even revenge, just kind of like proving stuff wrong because like when I was in school. Weirdroot Noelle casting a nice spell. Do you want this version of Weirdroot Noelle, or do you just want her in like, you know, her regular Dark World outfit? Just to check. Like, you want like Ice Shock or like a Snowgrave, because they look different. Actually, I probably should put the eyes on regular size. No, we'll put the eyes down here. If we need to move them, we can. Okay, my Weirdroot Noelle. Okay. Okie dokie. In that case, we might need to switch this to here so we can see both. Get more orangey juice. Woo! Get over here. Where the heck is my stream doodle page? Alright, we shall add this to the page. Up we go. Susie Lip. She's doing the cute face. It's your first doodle request. I feel like I need to make her face longer. I should need to do doing the whole Snowgrave, Sparkle. It's more regular stars. Need to be like snowflakes. You'd have to pick what you want. Especially since there was like a cooldown for it, so. Thingy. Noelle, you can do magic things. You can do stupid things. Actually, her sleeves should be longer. She got really long sleeves. We have to give her cool flowing anime hair. The anime is real. Okay, I swear every time I just make like the upper half so much larger than like the bottom half, and I have to like adjust it. Woo. make her a little bit... now she feels a little, I don't know, too tall. I don't know. Proportions are hard. I need to study more proportions. Either way. Which now, I think her head's too small. It's usually the opposite problem. You get so picky. Even about these. Okay. That's a little better. Do all the ice magics. Cold water fell into your face. There we go. Got Weird Root Noelle doing some magics. Thank you for the request. It is fun to do. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I like filling up these pages with all kinds of weird little things. Weird little dooblies. Right, now we're back into... I'm not going to draw on the wrong layer this time. I ain't going to do it. I'm going to use the wrong color, though, apparently. Well, maybe I do need to move the eyes to the bottom layer. Alright, we'll figure that out when we get there. Because her hair is kind of covering one of her eyes. Like I probably should. Oh well. If we need to, we'll do that later. I'm probably going to have to shuffle around some layers here and there. Depending on what looks good and stuff. And this is one of the big useful things about drawing digitally is like I can just shuffle layers around, whereas in real life, whatever you put down first is what goes down first, and that's just got to deal with it. It does make you improve faster. Yes, that's true. I am at the very least glad that I spent most of my youth just drawing on paper. If there's anything that helped me draw fast, it was probably that. It does depend on the art thing, because yeah, once you start adding too many layers, things start to get a little chunky. That happened on this stupid page with this stupid angel. Look at that. Look at this. I have, like, put this in a separate folder. Look at all this nonsense in the folder. Look at that. Stupid. Stupid. Why did I do that? Ah! Holy correct. Ugh. Like, here, I'll make myself this needlessly complicated for myself. Ugh. I hope it even looks good by the time I'm done. I still gotta do some adjustments on that. Okay, pop back over to regular Noelle. Yeah, I watched the Nighthawk video recently too. Yep. Ralph says like, I know I can't wear that. That's not allowed. Doesn't fit. Ralph say refuses to wear it. But I do wonder if Broken Scarf will come into play later. That'll be interesting. Yes, I do like Nighthawk's content. There are some things where I'm like, I don't quite agree with that, but like on overall, I think it's pretty solid. I'd put that in the same category as like, okay, this is solid, you know, theory/analysis. Like, you know, Molly Stars, Andrew Cunningham, Dorked, and Shadow of Roserade, Stuffed Alpaca. Pretty good stuff. I like watching their things. 259 layers. That's a lot of layers. At the very least, if you're going to make that many layers, please label them. I have been in situations where like I was working on a show and stuff, and I get somebody else's file that I have to color in. What are you doing? Stop that nonsense. And I get somebody else's file that I have to color in, and none of the layers are labeled. None of them. So I'm just going through this file like, okay, what does this layer do? Turn on, turn off? I don't know what this is. It's like 200 layers of nothing. Ah! It was kind of obnoxious. Yeah, so 70 is kind of reaching the limit here. This is like this kind of stuff that I'm doing, where I have a lot of colors going on and a lot of shading styles, is probably the most I'll do. Like even on like a traditional painting, I don't think I'd have that many layers. Yep, just good to label that stuff, because then you're like, oh, what is this layer I have to turn off for whatever reason? I don't know what it is, and you're just scanning through stuff. Alright, have a good lunch. Delicious lunches. Exactly. Don't cause yourself regretty. Don't regretty. Have some layer spaghetti. Future you will thank you. And pop through like those awkward like commercials being like, thank you, Pastel, for labeling your layers. I think most of those I'm gonna actually do with the other thing later. Speaking of layers, like I've gotten that sometimes too, just for if I'm editing somebody else's work file for work, they'll oftentimes I'll get a file where the layers aren't labeled, and I'm like, well, what is this layer? I don't know, it's all A, B, C, D, E. I'll have to figure it out myself. Especially something like Storyboard Pro, where you can basically like start each file with like a preset thing of layers, which is what I always do. And try and draw stuff that's already been labeled. I'm kind of wondering which art I've done has the most layers. It's probably something lost to time at this point. I have no idea. I don't know. Okay. And back we go to the weird root side. I already drew all the Chris's just kind of hanging out back there. Chris acting like that one still life in Backrooms. It just does not move. Poor Chris just floating. Just kind of hanging out there. Oh no. You've broken the barrier of layers. I have kind of unintentionally broken a program before, and it was fascinating. And that was when I was, I'm sure I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again for anybody new. So the first time that I ever made myself an animation. This was in like early 2000s. I was using Photoshop for basically. Actually, what I was doing was scanning in. I was drawing stuff by hand and then scanning it in and then coloring it in like Photoshop 4. This is how old this was. And I elected to. This was supposed to be a 5-minute animation, quite long. What I decided to do was put it all together in iMovie, because that's what I had at the time. I had iMovie. And iMovie is designed to, put a couple of movie clips together. This is on like those little colored iMacs, the little candy colored iMacs back in the day, which were nice instead of what we have now. iMovie is designed to basically put a bunch of little, video clips together with some transitions and audio and stuff like that. It was not designed to do what I was doing, which was, do a whole bunch of different single images that were all 1 frame long and just keep doing that over and over again. Thousands and thousands of, 1 frame images, or maybe 2 frames if you were lucky. Or 2 frames, I don't know. It was probably like 30 FPS. So I was doing the animation that way, and it went along for a while, and then it eventually got to the point where the timeline looped back in on... No, it got to the point where the timeline looped back in on itself, and basically like covered previous timelines, so I could not get to the previous files. Like, well, after a while, I stopped being able to even access the oldest pictures on the timeline. They were just gone because they were covered up by the new ones. It did this like 2 or 3 times. It just, started overwriting the previous files. I couldn't access them anymore. But it still would run them all together. And then it started changing the font of the UI. I don't know why, but it's just the UI font changed to like cursive or something. And it eventually got to the point where it would take like 10 seconds of thinking, of processing, for me to like do anything at all, which is mostly just like grab a clip, put it to the timeline, list it as 2 frames. A single action like that would take like 30 or 40 seconds because it would just think about that for a deeply long time. I think I kind of destroyed this program. It was doing weird things. Why did it change the UI? Why was the timeline vanishing into itself? So, I'm glad actual animation programs exist now. I would probably use those instead of whatever I was doing. I killed iMovie by making a 5-minute... I was able to render it out, though. I eventually made the whole thing. I still have it somewhere. But, I'd ruined that program in order to do it. Practically a creepypasta. Practically a creepypasta in its own special way, yeah. I did. I borked it. I was channeling my inner Noelle. Surely nothing bad will happen if I force this program to do something it was not intended to do. At least it successfully did what I wanted it to do, even though the UI broke, yeah. I guess if anything's going to break, make it the UI, as long as I know what I'm doing. Oops, you broke it. I borked it. That poor program, though. iMovie was like, please, mother, not another 100 frames of whatever the hell you're doing. I'm like, no. iMovie weird root. Yes. Pretty much. I even got a Mac because Andrew Stanton told me to. I'm not even kidding. So I can blame Andrew Stanton for this. It's your fault, Andrew Stanton, that I broke iMovie. Oh no. It is a throwback, isn't it? Ugh. Haven't used that in forever either. I think the last video editing program I used was just DaVinci Resolve, because that was also free. Get some more of that going there. That's not another the 200 frames ring, is it? It is. Equip. Add to timeline, add to timeline, add to this is like an end of weird chapter 5 weird, except I'm mashing add to timeline, add to timeline, add to timeline. Ah, then we broke it. You can't even say change frame like you used to. An iMovie will always be an iMovie. Yeah, pretty much. We did have Paint. Whatever the Mac version of Paint was. Photoshop and the Mac version of Paint just staring at each other in horror like Ralse and Susie were in yellow. While this goes on. I'm surprised that computer kept working as long as it did. Was a decently nice computer. My mom sent me like a photo of me once just working on that computer in like, you know, early 2000s. I'm like, I feel like this is some kind of creepypasta thing I can't quite put my finger on. Old photos. I was still doing the actual animation stuff by hand. I was drawing it on paper, I was just coloring it in Photoshop. I think I was scanning all the pages in too, so I had like a little dinky scanner over my computer that beep, beep, you know, I have to scan in however many pages it was. Probably a couple thousand. I tried to use animation where I could, but like 5 minutes is still ridiculously long. Also, when is my stretch break? I forgot. Tackle her face at least a bit. I have Susie with 5 fingers at least, even if I screwed up her toes. But she does have 5. She does have 5 fingers. Okay, where did I? Wait, no, I have some up here. I was gonna say, like, you know, usually you just draw dragons with, you know, 4 toes anyway, 4 fingers, 4 toes anyway, but I'm like, that's not even correct. Reptiles usually have 5 fingers and toes. I should know. I have a reptile, and she, in fact, has 5 fingers and 5 toes on each of her limbs. One thing about reptiles is, like, the fingers which are the longest are all in weird places. Like, basically on their feet, the longest toe is like the ring toe. And then they got like a toe thumb. So that they can grab onto things. Yeah, I think they're technically supposed to have 5 fingers. I mean, my original drawings for Noelle, she had hoof hands. So I like the hoof hands, but it's like, oh, no, she uses rings. Those have to have fingers. I think eyes I'm going to put on this layer. And what does, like, Birdly have? Does he have wing hands? Meh. One big ring just around the whole hoof. She does remarkably well in school considering she has only one finger on each hand. Yep, the rings. The ring's the thing that will, wingding, I don't know. Alright, as soon as we finish Noelle here, I'm gonna take my stretch break. I think it's been some time. Ring is definitely an interesting weapon for Noelle overall. I was here thinking it would be a staff, and I was wrong. I forgot the green in her hair again. Especially since it doesn't seem like her weapons between the light world and dark world change that much. Like, they're also just rings. Staff would suit her. I haven't really had any characters that have a staff. Okay, are we done with this one? I think so. It's kind of funky right there. Hopefully it'll look better once we put the shading on it. Okay, now it's stretch break time. Also, I need to get rid of the shading on the bottom stuff there. Sham does have a... Sham does have a staff, and also their plushie has a staff. I know, because I got the Sham plushie, and they got a little staff. Which also looks like it could be a needle. It's got a little ring in it. Or it could be a seam ripper. The Sham Ripper. But yep, they have a staff. I do wonder if we'll get a Sham boss battle in chapter 6. And it's like, oh, you want the pure crystal? Well, now you'll have to fight me as well. Ah! Then I could at least say I predicted that all the way back in chapter 1 with Paper Trail. I wouldn't say no to that, even if I would die a lot. That's my evil cackle about that. We are at least almost done with page 7 out of 10, and last page 10 doesn't have hardly any coloring on it, so really it's more like 7 out of 9. Is that Banjo-Kazooie? I wouldn't be surprised. I never played Banjo-Kazooie. Is there a light world design for Susie with Chris's soul? I don't have one. I'm not sure how that would change. I feel like that would change in some degree, but I don't know, like, how that would look in the light world. I would have to think on that one. Like, on the one hand, it would be cool if she could keep the dragon stuff. On the other hand, would that actually carry over into the light world in that way? Stock Witch's cackle, that makes sense. Yeah, I would have to think on if Susie's dragon form would be retained in the light world for that. I want to say yes, but I'm not sure. It would be cool. couldn't think of an image for it. I mean, I guess it would still be like she has like the wings and the tail and stuff, but again, I'm not sure. Alright, be right back for one more stretch. Alrighty, I'm back. Let's continue. I'm gonna turn off the shading on some of these. Where is it? There it is. Get back over to Rouse. It was on a different page. I don't know about that. I don't know. I guess it's possible. But, oh, that'd be especially awkward if it was like her parents' wedding ring. Ugh. Oh, Rudy just like, go propose to that dragon girl already. I won't be needing this for long. Oh, no, never mind. I don't like that at all. Never mind. Post canceled. I'm still holding on to the hope that Rudy will survive, but I kind of feel like if Rudy doesn't, then we at least need to get Des back then. I don't think it'd be very fair to be like, okay, Des is gone, and Rudy's gone. Like, life is just sucky for Noelle all around. Well, apparently her usual ring is just a ring. I'm suddenly forgetting, like, what her usual ring is. Oh. Okay, aw. Just aw. Alright, let me go find the stuff. Let's get Aqua. Back to the doodle page. Like, I don't remember what it says it is in the light world, but it is just like a ring that she has. I don't think it's any particular kind of ring, just, you know, it's a ring. Okay. Seth trying to awkwardly comfort Aqua. Aw. Also, I think I'll look up the ring now for that if we can do that. Snow ring. Let's see. Okay, the snow ring is Noelle's default weapon. The freeze ring or the thorn ring, the other ones do. Yeah, I don't know what the real world equivalent of the Gilded Rose is. That's a good question. Back to Seth as well. Just like a flower or rose? I feel like Seth's way bigger than she is here. I probably should make Seth a bit smaller. Giant head, Seth. That's a bit better. Probably still gonna make it smaller. There we go. Because it seems like the thorn ring is just a thorn. But what it is in the light world, I'm not sure. So Aqua's hair kind of trips me up sometimes. Aqua, what made you sad? Who would make this murder child cry? It must be punish it. That is true. But Seth is like not nearly as tall as a bunch of the other flowers. It is Susie giving her a rose. Seth's not too much shorter than Green? Okay. I'm picking her up. Get their arm in the right position. Hugs for Aqua! Aqua, don't be scared of the snow grave. It can't hurt you. You can just stab it. Okay. Little hugs between them. Orange is Mouse, Aqua is Kid. Seth and Green are both kind of funky proportions. That's, yeah, pretty much. Seth appears more teenagery compared to, like, a lot of the flowers that are adults. Sure, you can stab a snow grave. It's possible. That's doable and normal. Oh, I'm sure people would want to make her to a sibling situation. An orange is Mouse. It is actually the world's strongest human. Round human ears and long human tail. I will check that out when I am done with the stream. Oh yeah, no, Aqua got Norted jokes. Do you think this Aqua could get Norted? I don't know if she could quite pick up on that. Gosh, I remember the Aqua got Norted. That's true, not really any jokes comparing her to Kingdom Hearts Aqua. Maybe because they're so different? I don't know. It's odd. Oh, thank you. Also, thank you for coming. They look cute even when they're in distress. Aqua can just turn being Norted on and off, true. That's exactly what she would do. Oh, I'm evil now. I'm gonna have yellow eyes. That's what humans do. They get evil and have yellow eyes. Alright, I'm done doing that. Let's do something else. Oh, you can just turn that off? Yeah, it's fun. What are we drawing? I am working on a short Deltarune comic. This is pretty much in a chapter 7 scenario, late chapter 7 scenario. I'm doing a color one, which I don't usually do. But it's fun. Probably a lot of that will be other stuff later. Immediately shooting it back at Chris. No. But yeah, we are doing the color stage for this comic. I keep referring to my my references here. They did bad things to Chris. Chris is not in good shape here. But it's also a different Chris than the one they know. Zombie Chris, pretty much. The rumors were true. Zombie Chris, leave this place. But this is my house. Who the hell is Z? True. It would be fun. How would Chris feel about that? Probably quite bad. Like, oh geez, I did end up with the not crazy player, I guess, or did I? Oh. Ever seen me color a shade white before? Well, now we have. I do it sometimes, but not as often, because I'm usually doing something that's black and white related. Like filling in backgrounds and all that business, which I'm sure we'll get back to pretty soon. But it is nice to switch it up and do this instead. I just hope it all looks good by the time I'm done. I'm trying all kinds of color techniques because I don't do coloring very often. Speed paint videos. Again, there were some people who are just super good at color. And I'm like, ah, jealous. Like, again, seeing, like, Gigi's art, I'm like, oh, how do they do that? The magic. I do love Lancer. Lancer is the cutest. Yeah, speed painting is kind of its own discipline. It's a little bit different from, like, if you're just trying to do regular color. I think I remember when speed paints used to be a bit more popular. do a little bit down here with her neck. Does Lancer appear in the comic? Not in this particular one. This is a pretty short one. This is only like 10 pages long. But he does show up in Deltarune, although I haven't had him show up in Deltarune for a while. I'm not sure under what occasion I could do it. It's kind of like canon where I'm like, oh, I'm running out of spaces to put Lancer. He can't contribute as much here. At least I got him in like the birthday comic, but I know, shame on me. It's fun to try new brushes though. Yeah, I usually stick with like a couple different brushes. For coloring, I found I like this oil heavy flow dry edges that kind of, you know, looks like this. Like you got kind of that rough edge to it. I kind of like that. I found it fun to color with. But then I'm also switching between like, this is another go-to brush of mine is, well, not this one, the Daisuke brush. Wait, no, is that one it? No. Okay, the brush I use a lot, I use Rust Resizable a lot. I like that one. And, what is, okay, this one, I think. This brush I use a whole lot. I really like that brush. But we're using a Octoprimus, whatever this is. Camel brush is also kind of nice. Yeah, my two brushes I probably use the most. This one I accidentally renamed, but this is my primary brush that I use for drawing. I use the Rust Resizable a lot for rougher stuff. Carlson Soft for really soft stuff. And then this one I use a lot because it's a nice, soft, good flowing brush. Most like I've got a ton of brushes, but these are like my fave brushes that I use a bunch. These are the brushes where I'm like, I must use this brush. This is what I like. This is what feels good. But this one has like a little bit of a chalky texture to it. How would a Lancer and Orange interaction go? I think they would be good buddies. They would just like have a good time and play. They'd be like little kids, and they'd be like, we're gonna go run into the woods and skin our knees. And play dodgeball and stuff. Yep, that's always how it is. You get like a ton of brushes, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna use like 2 of these. But you gotta have all those other ones just in case. You never know when you'll need them. Oh, the lyrics spooked me. I was like, words. Oh, it's raise up your bat. Of course, there's lyrics. We're getting up a lot more lyrics in these later chapters now. We got 2 in this chapter. We got the Flower Man and the Mew Mew kissy cutie one. All kinds of opportunities. Yeah, singing, yeah. Guess what I did? I painted things on the wrong layer again. Okay. I'm gonna pull around here. And paste in place again. I keep doing that. This is what happens when I have like all the eyes on a separate layer. Oh, nice, a reprint. That's pretty cool. Alright, back over to the Suze. Susie, you take up so much room, I gotta get all the space for you and your colors. I'm pretty sure all artists paint on the wrong layer constantly. I'm pretty sure this is just a fact of life. That's not too expensive. That's pretty cheap. It's cheaper than what I spent on like various things yesterday, I'll tell you that. Ugh, spent a bunch of monies. But I hopefully it'll all work out in the end. If Lancer were here, then he could talk about how cool Dragon Susie is. You've never drawn on the wrong layer because you're perfect. Well, not all of us can be perfect. Some of us just draw on the wrong layer constantly. We made it a whole song about it. More Dragon Susie. More Dragon Susie. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. We dang well better get us a Dragon Susie in canon. Do it. Let that foreshadowing pay off. I think I missed a bit there. We need Dragon Susie, Toby. You know what the people want. Oh, that'd be an interesting cover for this song for sure. Track version of Undertale track 71. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. That doesn't count. She was in just a cute outfit. We need an actual dragon, not just her in a cute outfit. Godzilla was in a cute outfit? I mean, I'm not surprised, but... Play during New Home. I see. We'll see if we get something like that. I mean, that is true. Godzilla was just a guy in a suit, but, like, within the context of Godzilla's universe. Within Godzilla's fictional universe, Godzilla is a giant kaiju. Like, everything is just, you know, people in suits if we're talking about it. Or costumes. And that's the ruining the magic. I never realized this, but I do find it interesting how, like, if you do the Susie Zilla game first, you know, Susie is really excited about it. But if you go and do the Susie Zilla game after Susie is already starting to suspect Tenna of, like, kind of holding them there, and she's, like, tired of the games, then she's not enjoying the Susie Zilla game as much. She's like, okay, fine, let's just do this. Meanwhile, I was a dummy and didn't even unlock that room in my first playthrough. Stupid. She would be a good paladin. Yeah, that makes sense, too. Axe using Viking Susie. Perfect. You had foresight. You knew what was up. Or you got very lucky. One or the other. See? I have to keep turning on and off these layers because there's so much black on Susie. Aware of the classes ahead of time. Okay. You got it. You got it correct. Acts of justice. I'm already spoiled quite a bit on, like, the games. I've watched, like, all of the Andrew Blewett videos. Yeah, and also I played FF9. Like, I'm aware of what a paladin is. Even if not in, like, Final Fantasy, I played a paladin in, like, Dungeons and Dragons. I really liked 9. 9 was a great one. 9 was technically my first exposure to the series, but, I did not finish it. I finished 10 first. Susie is learning healing magic. He's getting the hang of it. More black on her outfit. Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite. I haven't played a lot of the big ones, but I have played 9, 10, 12, and 13. And then some of the side ones, like I played Dissidia. I like that. I liked the Rhythm one, Rhythmania, I think it is. I played most of Crisis Core, but I didn't finish it. I didn't get past this final boss. Yeah, I'm kind of spoiled on most of Final Fantasy just from, like, cultural osmosis. I've probably forgotten a lot of it anyway. But, like, again, I watched all the Andrew Blewett videos. Because they're very, very nice to put on while working. I'm still working through the Halo one he has out now. Those are good background videos. I also gotta listen to a new Delta cast. I missed it, so I gotta listen to it today. Or tomorrow. Whenever. Good to put on while drawing as well. Yeah, Dissidia was really fun. I like Dissidia. I did a music video for Dissidia once. One of them anime music videos. Buried somewhere in my I did have a PSP actually. I got a PSP specifically so I could play Birth by Sleep. Yeah, maybe I'll dig it up and put it on my Discord server or something. It's not very good. It's many years old at this point. I think my my frame rate was not the best in terms of exporting. But it was fun to do. It was for a song I really like. Yeah, I pretty much got a PSP. I got it secondhand just so I could play BBS because I'm like, I really want to play Birth by Sleep. I need to get my hands on a PSP. And that was also I played Crisis Core and Birth by Sleep, and then yeah, I think the City was on that as well. And that was pretty much all I played on my PSP, which I think I still have somewhere in my room. I should really actually probably get rid of it. It might have like a bulging battery in there. I don't know. I'm afraid to check. Did I play the Final Mix versions of 1.5 or 2.5? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I remember because the Final Mix version of 1 is where it's like, okay, do you want the ultimate weapon now? Well, good luck, because now you have to fight Sniperwilds for it. You loser. Ah! Go beat up, like, the big mushroom guy. Ah! I don't know which was my least favorite of the new Heartless, but it probably is Sniperwilds. I hate Sniperwilds. Ah! The Ultima grind is so bad compared to the vanilla version. It's so much easier to get Ultima Weapon in the original version, and they made it hard. Sniperwilds are a kind of monkey Heartless, yes. They are ridiculously insane compared to the usual monkeys. Yeah, they're the ones in Traverse Town. I still haven't beaten, like, Sephiroth or Xemnas. I never did quite beat those. But I wanted the ultimate weapon, and you have to farm Sniperwilds for. It's not even like you have to fight them. You have to farm them for the power stones or whatever. And they're blah! Sniperwilds. Why do they act like that? Make sure you destroy all of us, or else we will all destroy you. Yeah, you pretty much have to, like, use stop gun, stuff like that. Because if any of them spot you, then you're cooked. You're screwed. You're doomed. World Dumb Bespoke Heartless. They weren't all terrible. There were some new Heartless that was, like, manageable. Although I also remember, like, good grief, what was the one in Hollow Bastion? It was like, an invisible soldier that would go, yeah, the Zoomy Boy, oh, the Zoomy Boy in Neverland. No, the Zoomy Boys were like the big fish ones. Big Zoomy Boys. Also, the one that really gave me troubles was the mushroom one in Deep Jungle, where you have to like juggle it in the air like 100 times. Yeah, pretty sure the Invisible Soldier is the one in Hollow Bastion. Alright, as soon as we finish Susie here, I think we'll take a stretch break. Neverland. It's really just Captain Hook's pirate ship. And remember, what were the special Heartless in Atlantica? I'm trying to remember. It's supposed to be that. It says right there in the thing, the horns and tail are supposed to resemble a crown. That was on purpose. It says there. That they are horns, but they resemble a crown. I think Atlanticus had the one from Deep Jungle? What was that? I can't remember that at all. Yeah, I have no memory of this. What the heck? I wiped it from my brain, but I couldn't forget Sniperwilds, unfortunately. Yeah, Deep Jungle was the big mushroom you had to, like, do as many combos as possible. But what was the secret Heartless in Atlantica? Yeah, hey. You should draw her as a lunar dragon, then. You should do it. Atlantica was also that mushroom? I thought, because it was like a really big mushroom. It was like super large. Compared to the other ones. I'll do Susie's eyes on a separate layer. Sweet. Man, that's wild. There were some things with like new designs, like the one in Halloween Town was in a completely different design. It was like a weird chimera looking Frankenstein guy. They don't one-shot the player, but basically they show up in Traverse Town, and if they spot you, they will sound the alarm, and then like all of the Sniperwilds in the area will just start spawning in and like keep hitting you and keep hitting you and keep hitting you, and they will not stop until you're dead. You pretty much just have to run away if you get spotted by a Sniperwild. And they can hit you from like across the whole area. So you just have to leave the area entirely. Alright, okay, I think we're done with Susie on this one, so we'll take my stretch break. Yeah, you basically, like, they'll spawn in terms of, like, 1, and then 2, and then 3. And you have to kill them all without one of the others noticing. Because if you get noticed, they will all just start spawning in and attacking you. Like, they'll just keep endlessly spawning until you're dead. They are unfair little guys! Nice. And the thing is, they spawn in on, like, the little square area at the bottom. So you do have to, like, jump down and, like, grab one and try and kill it ASAP. I know I played 2.5, but I don't know if, I did all the... I actually, no, I haven't done all the extra stuff in 2.5. I did get through the Cavern of Remembrance. Like, I fought my way through that. And it was ridiculously hard. That whole area is just a giant gauntlet. And it's like, your reward for that is all the super bosses, which I never beat any of them. Some people are just, like, extremely skilled at doing, like, Kingdom Hearts super bosses. And that person is not me. I don't think I ever got all of the organization mushrooms. I never got a crown on Sora's head. Yeah, Terra is like one of the last things you can do in 2.5. And even then, he'll one-shot you all the time. Just break out the big Keyblade cannon and go, go by. Oh yeah, like for some people who are like, they really love that kind of challenge, then it's a really good way to do it, because that's those are all different sorts of challenges for those kinds of bosses. But I never managed to beat any of the data battles. I was not strong enough. I was not strong. Rage awakened eye moment, yep. I'm sure we will get some super cool moment with Chris. I'm very curious about the fact that Gigi is like, the part that made her get up and cheer hasn't happened yet, so I'm excited for whenever we get the get up and cheer part. Pure germination payback mode. Wah! You messed with the wrong depressed teenager. Soul cannon upon ye. I want to see them get really mad. I hope in the weird route they like crawl out of the screen in real life and slap you. That'd be neat. Chris Dreamer will kill you in real life. And they'll be justified. Alright, I'll be right back for one more stretch and all that, and then we'll do a little more. Alrighty, we're back for one more session. Oh, what do we get spoiled on? Weird root goodness. How we feeling? Susie got tummy ache, but I'm feeling okay. You do like a million things. That's usually how creepypastas go. Yeah, interesting how you pretty much have to just mash the heck out of proceed in order to actually get through it right. You didn't drown correctly. Try again. Doing this correctly? Okay, yes. That is true. I guess people were able to find it on their own. Actually, I think I need to erase that there so we can see Susie tail. Should be able to see that. But there are little hints like the, can we make her a bad guy from Rouse and stuff like that. Hello? Did I not do that proper? Did I not do it down there? What happened? What happened? There it is. You must get rid of something. There we go. People found weird root file names and then pieced together how to do it in-game. I suppose Toby would have had to, like, expect that to happen. I can't do weird root. I can't do it. I can't. I'm already too upset just by chapter 2, let alone, like, everything in chapter 4 and 5. I feel so bad. One person stumbling into it. That'd be weird if they stumbled into it. That would be heckin' cool. That would feel like, I don't know how that would feel, but really cool. Just be like, huh, is this supposed to happen? And you just kind of keep going. I guess we might have to wait a little while to do the rest of the weird root blind, because if it's really not until chapter 7, it's going to skip chapter 6. Alright, good luck with mowing the lawn. Thanks for coming. Got one more session to do, and then I gotta get my lunch. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, oh, we got the good ending. Now I guess we'll go and do the sad stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with going a little slower and appreciating what you got. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But either way, I'm gonna have other people play it because I don't have any weird root files, and they'll have to tell me what happens. Has to play the happy one again after. And surely that will have no additional context that will feel bad. Surely that will not alter your perception in some way. You can't unalter your perceptions now. Too bad. My quinces have been conched. Cool. I will look for that in the future. Maybe I'll reblockle that again. Again, I kind of wish I could do another video, but oh my goodness. What is time? I got this to do. I got my actual work to do. I gotta do, like, I gotta do stuff for another particular Undertale Deltarune fan project thing that I promised I'd finish by August. I really need to get back to Deltarune. Too much stuff, too much Deltarune stuff to do. That's been my life for like the past 10 years. That's fine. Or however many years it's been, I don't know. Well, I'm not immortal, weird sisters. I have to pick and choose. Although I have been thinking maybe that's how I would approach Flowery and Deltarune. I was like, how would I do, like, Flowery in this universe, especially since we don't have the Asgore connection so much. And, meditations on, like, basically memento mori, on, life being fleeting, mortality versus immortality. I'm like, okay, that might be an interesting angle to explore that is relevant to Flowery. Probably can still talk about Asgore, but not in the way it is in canon, obviously. I thought I was drawing on the wrong layer for a second. I was like, ugh! Gargoyles is good. Oh yeah, like I think he would be aware of Asgore. This have to be an angle of like appreciating Asgore's, you know, love of plants and stuff like that. Works a little bit different from how it is in canon. A shot of frozen brotion. Yeah, I don't know how I would make pink work is the problem. I don't know how to make pink work, because I already had pink. She's one of the ghosts, or at least Maddie. Maddie is one of the ghosts in the haunted house in Hometown. Yeah, Deltarune Noelle does not have good feelings for Carol. Alright, I think we're done with this page. Let's move on to the next. Yeah, Carol gets chomped. You can make a sketch request whenever you want. Let's see, where are we in terms of this? We'll go back to Sue's. Now turn off my shading layers here. Bump up the thing so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, there's really not. I mean, there's a, like, I'm trying to think of, like, okay, who counts as, like, an object? And I'm like, okay, what's the Netskis? What are the Caw-Caws? What are the Shees? Like, maybe the beetle guys are actual beetles, but no, they can't be real animals. Yeah, that's pretty much like Noelle's like, no, Mayor's mine. You can eat everybody else. Yeah, Hop Chef. Caw could be birdseed. That could be it. I could see that. Like, clearly she is supposed to be invoking a scarecrow, but in that sense, I'm like, what kind of scarecrow would that be? And like a, you know, this as an object. Sheena Beatty being a Beatles album. Oh, that I would like that. And definitely explain all the, you know, the actual Beatles references. That's definitely something like a dad would have. Just the Beatles album. So I guess that means the Beatles are canon to Deltarune's universe. The Beatles exist. Terracotta's the pots. That's true. That's true. What are the she then? Like, they're scarecrows, but and how would that apply to what we see in the actual room? She would probably still have like a deer head as a gargoyle, I imagine. All the monsters already look kind of monstrous, so. And I guess the what are those little guys getting tossed around? The little leaves, like those can just be like dead leaves tossed around. That's normal. What are the Netskis though? Ruden cards covered in flowers. They could be. What are the Netskis? Like, I don't think Asgore really has like any kind of a Japanese plants in his thing, but they're kind of like invoking Kitsunes. So that Netsuki could be a fox flower. Oh, that could be interesting. She got some... Holy shit, dude. I know. Watch out, John Lennon. You never know who will be inspired. Okay. Let me look at that. I did like all them Beatles references. It was a good time. Let's see. Exactly. Beatles, Mother, Deltarune, Beatles. We've come full circle again. Just gotta keep referencing the Beatles. I still love that the friggin' Beatles were also a reference to that fetish art in his class on Quicksand. Or a foxtail. Okay. Or foxglove. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Alright, let's, I'll try this. I was probably gonna do this as waist up again. The Beatles and Deltarune are legit Beatles. No, they can't be actual animals because we know that living things in the dark world are different. Basically, the whole thing with the Rat King from Paper Trail came true, just with flowers. No, apparently quicksand is a fetish. Which is, like, not shocking that it is. Like, lots of things are fetishes, and quicksand being one of them, it's like, okay, you can kind of see how that makes sense in somebody's head. It's more like, why is there, like, fetish art in this lecture on quicksand at school? I mean, maybe it was just teacher liked to suck your PNG into a quicksand pile. And that could be it, but at the very least, lots of things can be fetishes if you put your mind to it. True. Okay, the doodle dump page on Tumblr. Oh yeah, I think I need to do that. Yeah, I think the reason why it was assumed it was a fetish was because it's like, you know, an anime girl in there and asking for help kind of thing. That kind of reads, you know, different. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. Oh, sorry, I was just going with what was going on here. Yep, there's the Wonder Bread one. Is Wonder Bread guy still going? Is he still asking people to draw that white lady with all the Wonder Bread? Is he trucking along still? Along with whatever that guy is that would, like, did macro fetish art of, like, all the Star Fox characters and would ask for that all the time. I'm pulling a yellow, exactly. Oh, this is on accident. He's like, no, please don't. Star Fox High was a Korean neurosurgeon. That's wild. I mean, I'm not surprised, but also, dang. Live your dreams, indeed. Become a neurosurgeon. And then just, like, ask as many artists as possible for, you know, macro fetish Star Fox art. Become legend. So sorry if the sizes are wrong on this. Again, proportion is hard. Yeah, most furries not wealthy. You have to rely on like somebody who's got like an insanely good job and also has like an insanely specific fetish, and be like, "Yep, I can draw that. Thanks for however much that is." It's always something like really specific too. Like the Wonder Bread one is like really specific. Like how many people actually have like that kind of stuff? He's like, "Oh, it's shiny." Okay. Don't put that in your mouth. You don't know where it's been. Why is she playing around with a gun? Alright, well, we got the first row done there. We did it. Thank you for the request. Now we get back to... Oh, wrong one. Whatever's happening here. I gotta peace out. No worries. Anyways, it is added to the pile. Thank you. No, not that much. It's just part of the thing. And yeah, like Sans. Really like hot animals, huh? I can't complain. Like, Toby absolutely understands the furry community. What with my big fluffy fucking tail destroys buildings because it's so big. Demo areatorial thirst. Yeah. Even back then, people would be like, oh, wow. Also, Toriel is more of like a proper MILF since she's actually like mom-shaped and mom-aged. She just thinks it's fun. Not thinking through things properly. Susie, your tail. You can't hide it anymore, it's too large. Somewhere far away you hear a basketball bouncing. What if Susie was just quarter human? I mean, I guess that could work, but I don't think it would work quite the same. Because, seems like part of the problem is, like, her family. She seems to indicate that her family has problems, too. And I feel like the easiest way to deal with that would be she has a human and a monster parent, and there's been tension growing up. Like, being mixed race isn't quite the same when it's, like, a grandparent as opposed to, like, one of your parents. It's a bit more direct that way. All human and all monsters? I think that might be a bit complicated. Also, that's just Asriel in Undertale, so. Okay, we got Shuji down. She's peacing out. Let's get to Rouse. The only way I can see her being like a quarter human is if the church juice stuff is like literal. But I think it would be simplest if she was just half and half. Since again, that didn't answer, like, all of her family problems she's also dealing with. Okay, I did not understand the all bacon no games bit. Sorry. I didn't get it. I haven't heard that joke very often, to be honest. Not one that pops up frequently. Treehouse of Horrors portal. Oh, they're going to the third dimension. Any of you seen the movie Tron? No, 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 no. Oh. I've seen Tron. Tron's not a great movie, but it is a fun movie. Now they're CGI. Dun dun. Let's have to get one of the many cool Blender artists that have done 3D art of the characters. Get a Lupa C in here. They'll do right. I do like Tron. Imagine if Susie moved into hometown very early. I think things would be quite different. I think the fact that she's a relative newcomer means something. Like, we're hecking out of this universe. This universe is depressing. You gotta throw them curveballs in Pokemon Go. Them curveballs. Like, what am I doing wrong there? I used to be bad at throwing the balls in Pokemon Go, but I eventually got better. I got better. It doesn't help when, like, Pokemon are like, I'm gonna jump right as you're throwing it. You wonder how different people, like, draw the holiday hoof feet. I like giving them, like, that kind of high heel thing, like that actual reindeers have, where they have, like, a bit of a thing in the back. But I think some people just give them, like, flat hooves. Suppose either can work. Like in an AU? That's kind of what happened in Paper Trail. I've had her living there since she was a little kid. She does know how to run fast. She is a deer. On the cross-country team, for that matter. So I might have to stop soon, like. I'll just once I finish this panel. Like horseshoes, but they're hoof shoes? Do they make horseshoes for, like, reindeer? Hope not. They probably need those. You know, at least they do have, like, special shoes made for hooves, which Des was using. I like drawing them like heels. It's fun. It's more like proper reindeer hooves. I guess it has been 2 to 3 years since that came out. Ooh! Ooh! Time is weird and fake and terrifying. It feels like really long ago to me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, I think we're just going to finish this panel, and then we will call it for today. Hey, stop that. Heels are hard to draw. Yeah. I love that video. What a weird, why did it walk through it that way? You didn't have to do that. Literally just kind of stumbles through it. I don't see as many deer as I used to back home. There are tons of deer around there. Well, we're almost done. And I'm not sure if we'll be working on this next weekend or not. I actually am hoping that I'll finish this, hoping we'll finish this by the end of this week. So next week will probably be something different. If we are lucky. Yeah, so I like drawing with the high heel hooves kind of thing with them. I know. I'm trying to get this done so I can get back to other stuff as well. Yeah, I'm getting close because I got like this page left to color, and then this page left to color, and then like that's the last page. So we're almost through. We're on page 8 now. We made pretty good progress. But yes, if I don't finish this next week, and then we'll be doing something else. I'm hoping I'll finish it this week. Wish me luck and all that stuff because I'm excited to finally get this thing out. It's got to do a bunch of other shading stuff as well. And hopefully it'll all look good by the time it's done and people enjoy it. In any case, I enjoy drawing it with you. It's super fun. How many pages is this? Technically 9, but the last one, or technically 10. The last page is like kind of a half page, so it's kind of more like 9 and a half. Good, because I'm like, please, let's make this under 10 pages, please. Especially with all the color and stuff we gotta do for it. My comics keep getting longer and longer. They keep getting lengthy. But yes, thank you guys so much for coming. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day. It's a little rainy out, which I kind of appreciate. And yes, I will do more Chrono Trigger on Friday. And then we'll do something else on Sunday. If it's not this, it'll probably be Deltarune ending stuff, because there's always more to do here. But yes, I super appreciate you being here. Y'all are very cool. And I hope your time goes well. Thanks so much for coming. Sorry about jail. Yes, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you all next time. Alrighty, see you later.